Jamaica awakens to the fury of one of the most powerful natural phenomena in recent years, Hurricane Melissa, a storm that began as a simple tropical depression in the Atlantic, has evolved into a monstrous category for hurricane, now unleashing its full force upon the island. Winds exceeding 143 miles per hour, torrential rains, and a raging sea paint a grim picture for the Jamaican people today. From the air, the images are staggering. The hurricane's perfect spiral almost completely blankets the country, with a well-defined eye and a destructive radius extending far beyond its shores. What started just a few days ago as a low-pressure system near the Lesser Antilles rapidly intensified over the warm Caribbean waters, gaining strength and speed almost explosively. The Meteorological Service of Jamaica has declared a state of emergency across the entire territory. Authorities have urged the population to remain sheltered as widespread power outages have occurred and communication with some inland areas has been lost. In Kingston, the capital, gusts of wind have torn down trees, ripped off roofs, and toppled utility poles. While in the northern coastal areas, the sea has surged several meters inland. Experts say Melissa is an unusually powerful storm for this time of year. The Caribbean Sea's surface temperature has reached record highs, exceeding 86 degrees Fahrenheit, providing the perfect fuel for this type of tropical cyclone. Prediction models had already warned of an increase in the frequency and intensity of hurricanes, but few expected one so destructive so early in the season. In Montego Bay, residents tried to protect their homes with wooden planks and sandbags. However, many admit they were not prepared for something of this magnitude. Circulating images show completely flooded streets, vehicles floating among debris, and people trying to salvage what little they can. Hurricane Melissa brings not only hurricane-force winds, but also a greater risk. Torrential rains that could trigger landslides and river overflows. In the parish of St. Mary, several communities have been cut off by the rising waters of the Wagwater and White Rivers. Rescue teams are working against the clock to evacuate those trapped in hard-to-reach areas. Meanwhile, the international community has already begun to mobilize humanitarian aid. Neighboring countries like the Dominican Republic and Mexico have offered immediate assistance, and the International Red Cross has deployed emergency teams to provide logistical and medical support. Meteorologists at the U.S. National Hurricane Center report that Melissa is maintaining a northwesterly track, meaning that after hitting Jamaica, it could dangerously approach the Cayman Islands and then Cuba. It is expected to lose some strength in the next 48 hours, but it will remain a powerful and dangerous storm. On social media, thousands are sharing images of the hurricane from their windows. Some show the force of the wind lashing palm trees, others capture the sea invading the boardwalk. But there are also stories of solidarity, neighbors helping the elderly evacuate, volunteers distributing food, and families sheltering together, waiting for the storm to pass. The Jamaican government has opened over 900 shelters across the country. Although many are at full capacity, authorities assure that there will be space for everyone who needs refuge. Despite the tension, the Jamaican spirit remains unbroken. "We've been through storms before, and we'll get through this one too," says a resident of Ocho Rios as he secures his home with what little he has. The damage is still difficult to calculate, but initial reports point to a considerable catastrophe. Hundreds of homes affected, blocked roads, collapsed infrastructure, and a severely damaged electrical grid. It's estimated that the losses could exceed $800 million. Though this figure could rise as the full extent of the disaster becomes known. Melissa will pass, as all hurricanes do, but its mark will be etched in the Caribbean's memory. Once again, nature demonstrates its power, reminding us of our fragility in the face of its might. However, it also reveals the resilience of people who, even in the midst of chaos, rise up, help each other, and rebuild what the wind destroyed. In the coming days, efforts will focus on recovery, restoring power, reopening blocked routes, and delivering clean water and food to the most affected areas. But in the meantime, Jamaica continues to endure. United in the face of a hurricane that will go down in history as one of the most intense in recent times. Because Hurricane Melissa is not just a storm, it's a reminder, a warning about how climate change is altering the planet's patterns, making these phenomena fiercer each year, claiming more lives and causing more destruction. The beautiful and vulnerable Caribbean faces a future where preparation and adaptation will be key. And as the wind subsides and the sun begins to shine again, Jamaicans start the hard work of rebuilding, with hope and the conviction that even after the worst hurricane, calm always returns. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, please consider sharing it. Stay safe and don't forget to like and subscribe for more important stories from around the world.